Hello, drugi. This is Bearsky. This is your babushka Bearsky, and I'm sending you good vibes, but also in this Bearsky show, I'm going to include my evil shadow. So nothing is left out, okay? And also, I will make an effort to look into the camera instead of looking at myself. I can tell you that it's very difficult because I'm a fucking narcissist and I just love looking at myself. Okay, so today is a very special day. Today is my grandmother's birthday. Fortunately or unfortunately, she is no longer here in the body, but she is always with me in spirit. And her name is Valentina, and I love her very, very much. She inspired me probably the most if I'm talking about people, women whom I met on my path. She was a great communicator. She came to Canada when she was in her 70s, and for her, age was never an issue. Immediately, she went to study English, and even when she didn't really speak English that well, she would talk to everyone. She never even considered that, oh my god, I'm not going to say it perfectly, I don't know how to say it. She was just a natural communicator, and she always spoke to everyone independently of their age, their nationality, their skin color, and she was never shy. And I think in this sense I take after her. And yes, I was just thinking about her today and getting good vibes from her all the time. She was just such a beautiful person. She never complained about anything. She was positive all the time, you know? But when she told me some of her stories, there were so many actually reasons for complaining. And for example, you know, like when she was a child or a young teenager, she was living in a very small village in Russia. And in that village, there was not enough children, so they only had a secondary school. But my grandmother, she wanted to continue her education, and she had to go to a different village every day, buy food in the winter, and oftentimes she had to walk by herself. So imagine this lonely road going from one village to another. There was nothing there. There was just forest on one side and forest on the other side. Okay? And several times she was in a situation when she came across a really big gray wolf. Just like in a fairy tale, okay? The only difference was that she didn't have a Red Riding Hood. Okay? And it was a really, it was really scary. Imagine you're 12 years old, you have to walk. I think it was like 5 or 7 kilometers, okay, to a different village. Obviously, like she had to get there in the morning by 8 or 8:30 in the morning, and during this time in the winter in Russia it's dark, just like here in Canada. And but the amazing thing was that it never stopped her, okay? She just continued to do this every day, and she did it for at least 2 years. That was my grandmother. Yes. beautiful, beautiful, strong, female, Shakti, Russian lady, okay? And that's why when somebody tells me like anything about white fragility, my answer to them is like, fuck off, okay? Russians have a very strong brand. And if there's anything you can say about them is not an accusation of some kind of white fragility. So please, all of you, what do you call yourselves? BLM people or whoever you are, the critical race theory and shit like that. Just, I'm telling you in advance, fuck right off. When you see me walking on the street in Montreal, I'm not a representation of white fragility. Okay, so I'm glad that my evil shadow is here and we're speaking together in the Bearsky show. Okay, Bearsky obviously is all about love, and I feel the spirit of sacred feminine. I feel I'm embodying my grandmother. I feel her energy, but being kind, being loving doesn't mean being weak, okay? And I'm really not inclined to be on the recipient end of any of your fucking bullshit, okay? And even though like I have this two antenna, this is antenna that connects me straight to Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, and this antenna connects me to the delivery from La Banquise, my favorite poutine restaurant. So it's like double poutine here for Bearsky. So basically, I'm a magic creature with superpowers, okay? And I have love on one side, creation on one side, and Shiva strength kind of evil that can come in if it's necessary. Okay, so yes, please send good vibes to my grandmother. She is a real angel and she is my personal superhero. As a Russian, I'm not into your kind of bullshit like Spider-Man, Superman, Wonder Woman. Please, like, let's kind of give tribute to real heroes, okay, who actually did something for our planet. Okay, so what did I want to talk about? Well, obviously about everything. Okay, one of the things that I want to mention, a couple of days ago I had a really nice mushroom trip, okay, that really kind of like brought me back to myself. It was beautiful, seriously. I haven't done mushrooms in a while. The last time I did the mushrooms, I think it was a year ago, and it was a great experience. But while I'm here in Montreal, I'm always kind of like paranoid. I feel that, oh my god, mushrooms are not as strong as I would like them to be, or mushrooms are not as strong as the mushrooms I had in Thailand. So when this little baggie came my way, Bearsky felt very greedy and grabsky, lots of mushrooms, thinking that they're not going to work, But they worked, and pretty quickly actually. And as soon as they worked, I started to feel just very, very soft, very, very gentle, very just a beautiful emotion that is, it's difficult to describe, but I felt like I'm coming back to myself, and I'm feeling really, really good, okay? And for me, mushrooms, they're very discerning, okay? They usually tell me, not in words, but it can be in words. They show me who is good for me and who is not good for me, okay? And so in that moment, my only kind of like regret was that my friend Sergey was not there, okay? Because I realized in that moment that actually, from all people who are my acquaintances or my friends in Montreal, it was him with whom I really wanted to share this moment, okay? And I kept calling him, and it was kind of annoying. But it was a great test of kind of energetic vibrations, because it happened to me many times before with mushrooms that I would take mushrooms when, let's say, I was experiencing, kind of like a dilemma, right? Like, I would be like, should I go for this person, if you're talking about dating, or should I not? And mushrooms always brought me extreme clarity. And that's how I felt last time, a couple of days ago. I was like, wow, like, I really feel this gentle, kind, appreciative emotion towards my friend Sergey, and with whom I would be completely comfortable and content on that mushroom trip. And I was kind of like regretful that he was not there. Anyway, and then there was another kind of like dilemma that was coming up for me. And one of the issues that I have a difficulty to say no. I'm worried about the reaction that my no will produce. I'm concerned that the person will get angry. And so there was somebody, kind of a friend, but a controversial kind of friend, a difficult kind of friend for me, who was going to stay at my house. And I already said yes to him. But that yes was not a real yes. And when I was on mushrooms, I realized, oh my God, I just felt such clarity. And thank you so much, my little friends. I was like, fuck, man, like, why am I raping myself? Like, I really don't want this person to stay at my house. And it's not because he did anything wrong, not because of that, but it's just our energies are not flowing together. I don't feel good in his presence. I feel like I'm suffocating in his presence. It's not my kind of vibration. And why am I putting him first, not me? I have to take care of me. And so when I came back from that mushroom trip, I wrote him a message and I told him how I felt. And I experienced such a sign, just a feeling of relief when I did this. And to be honest, I'm concerned, I'm a little bit afraid of his reaction, and I didn't read what he replied back to me, but I know that I did the right thing for me, and thank you, mushrooms, for showing me the right thing to do. And it's not like I didn't know what to do. I already felt that was how I was supposed to do, that I had to say no. But they confirmed to me that I was feeling what I was feeling, and I had the right to feel how I feel, and this is the bottom line. That's it. Anyway, feels so good. Okay, I want to say thank you to all of the feedback that I'm getting from you guys, and I'm really surprised actually that you're watching me, and I'm very, very grateful. So one of my friends, my beautiful friend from Toronto, she was asking me for advice about what we can do in this strange and difficult time. Okay, and later on she sent me a message with pictures of us in Toronto having a good time about 20 years ago, believe it or not. And I just had such an amazing sensation, like, just bursting through me when I was looking at those pictures. And one of the things that you can do, and it's a very simple thing, let's say if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, you can do this thing that I call savoring. And savoring is a tool that was developed by psychotherapists Phil Stutz and Barry Michels. They're my, I will say, gurus, even though like I know that I'm saying it kind of like tongue-in-cheek, but I really love those guys. They're based in California. They work with many Hollywood stars, and so they wrote the book which is called The Tools. Okay, I will include the link below the video so you can find them. So this tool, actually it's called extraction, but me and some of my other tooler buddies, we decided that it sounds a bit too surgical and clinical. So we call this tool savoring. Okay? So savoring is basically, it can be done in the present, but in this case, because I got the pictures and they had to do with my memories of the 20 years ago, I can basically go back in time and recreate in my mind exactly how I felt in that moment. And there is a really cute picture of me, and it was taken on New Year's Eve. Me and my friends, we were in this nightclub that we used to frequent. It was called Dance Cave. It was on Bloor, in between Bathurst and Spadina, and they played very cool music. I was always like into Britpop, and I was looking at this picture, and the first thing that I remembered was that I was a little bit sad at that time because, I didn't have anyone to kiss because my friend came with her boyfriend and I was by myself. But now, when I was looking back at this picture, I was just thinking, oh my god, like I looked so cute. And we had such a good time anyway. And so basically, you start to recreate this memory. You add all of the details that you can add. And you stay in the feeling of that memory, of that moment. And you savor it. And you savor it, okay? You just stay in that positive vibration, like if you can remember the music that was playing at the time. I looked at the clothes that I was wearing and just felt how they felt on my body. I remembered the smiles of my friends. I remembered the beer that we were drinking. I think it was not very good beer, by the way, Budweiser, which I really don't like. Anyway, and so you savor this moment as long as you want. And let me tell you, it's a really interesting thing. Your subconscious, or basically doesn't really know whether it was happening then or it's happening now. And almost immediately, or pretty quickly, I mean, depending on how much practice you have with this, you start feeling really good, okay? So it's almost like dimension jumping, but jumping, into a moment in the past, staying there, savoring all of the sensations, and then potentially going into a different dimension. And just appreciating things that happen to you. So that's one of the things that you can do. And I want to point out something, that it's not just something that you can do and you do it one time and that's it. It's a practice, and you have to do it continuously every day. Okay? Like I was talking about gratitude before. Gratitude is not something I do and I expect my life to change, okay, just like from one practice. Gratitude I do every day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes 10 times a day, if I'm feeling really shitty, okay? The same thing with savoring. You can do it as many times as you need, but the point is that it's all about practice, okay? Unfortunately, there is no magic wand, okay, that can solve all of your problems. For this reason, I really hate when people talk about life hacks. You cannot fucking hack anything. Like, in order to become a hacker, people practice like years and years and years, and only after this extensive practice you can hack into something and it will work. So please, like, don't buy into this American idea that there's a quick fix. No, there is no such thing. All you have to do is practice day after day after day. Okay, this is very important. So, grateful flow, savoring of your good memories, feeling the vibrations of positivity, and yes, just helping yourself out. And it's always a choice. How do you want to feel? Okay, do you want to feel good? Or do you want to feel bad? And of course, a very simple thing you can do is you can watch Bearsky show, and your life is going to change, because Bearsky has magic powers that were actually given to me by my great-grandmother. Her name was also Natalia, and she was a white witch from Siberia. And she passed on certain powers to me. I'm not going to tell them what they are, but as a shaman, which she was basically a medicine woman, a Siberian shaman, okay, an androgynous Bearsky shaman, okay, and I have knowledge about how to tap into those powers, and simply by hanging out in my vibe via computer technology or in person, you can get into the universal flow, and it will help you to move forward. Okay, So what else did I want to say? I think this is enough for today. And I will have to remove this little babushka because I'm getting a little bit too hot. And it's a beautiful day outside. It's time to go for a walk, my drugi. Enough of this bullshit, blah blah blah, pilava malaki. Bearsky wants to go and hug the trees. That's going to be my tantra, my mantra for today. And after that, Bearsky will go to SAQ to get some beautiful Pinot Noir. Okay, Babushka Bearsky loves you. Stay safe, be good, don't do anything I would do. Love you guys. Ciao.